Hi everybody, this is Kevin Davis. I would like to take some time to thank you for watching the second episode of Kevin Talks Advertising. If you remember our first episode, we discussed Facebook pages. For today's episode, I would like to discuss ways local businesses can utilize very cost-efficient services to get their word out to prospective customers. So without further ado, let's begin. First of all, every community will have some sort of newspaper that highlights all of the events of that given area. For example, in Waukesha County, the name of the local newspaper is the Lake Country Reporter, with the website being livinglakecountry.com. Almost any community will find that they have a highly similar system, and one of the things that you'll find in this kind of media is the high amount of advertising within the paper. With that being said, as a business, using something local like this to attract customers that are close to you will be highly effective and can greatly increase your customer base. Getting an advertisement out can be very simple. All you'll need is either a word processing program, such as Microsoft Word, Microsoft Publisher, or anything else that can make any type of document. Or, if your costs permit, you may also have an employee of the newspaper that you're advertising with create an advertisement by themselves. And this it's totally dependent on how much money your company has. All you'll generally need is to go to a website like livinglakecountry.com and locate the contact page. Some newspapers will have either the contact number or contact person and email for advertising, or they'll just have a general information line that you'll have to have the operator transfer you to the appropriate person. Once you do this, you'll be able to get started right away. Generally, it will begin with a phone consult in which the appropriate authority will ask you what your business's needs are, and they will explain to you the costs that are associated with whatever recommendation they provide you. While you aren't required to accept that specific recommendation, it's just something places do to help. It is entirely up to you on how you want to display your ad, because ultimately it is the responsibility of you or the management to create something that will attract prospective buyers. It generally will take some time to find out what times your ad will appear and how large it will be. For a local business that I've seen, the representative from the newspaper will send a link to the PDF file of the advertisement before they post it, so you'll have the chance to reply and say, hey, I want something changed, I don't want it to appear this way, and you can either do that by email or by way of phone. And that's what I've seen. A lot of it consists of PDF or Word documents, and it's not as easy with a PDF because you can't edit it in Adobe, but you can maybe tell the person that you want it on a Word document file, so you can highlight and delete the text or change the formatting of the fonts or whatnot by yourself if you see something that you want added or removed. Once you get this done, you'll have to save the file and then send it back to the email that you received it from to begin with and tell them that you want it posted the way that you've edited it, or that it's fine how they did it, whichever you elect. And then once you get the cost aspect out of the way, they will be able to get the ball rolling for you, and they can tell you when they expect a payment from you. And sometimes this can be negotiated between your company and the advertising department for your newspaper. And you'll find that even if it's a small paper, that the advertisements will be high quality, generally full color, a lot of good graphics. Some of the places have really good software, whatever that may be, where they can tailor the particular advertisements to your specific needs. So that will be a very useful tool, depending on which you decide. So just keep in contact with whether you're assigned a representative or if there's another specific contact that you have to email or call. Just make sure to keep in contact with them and consult on a regular basis with how many people are viewing the paper and looking at my store or looking at my products or website because of it. And it may be a wise idea to find some way to call on customers, whether it be in a survey or if your salespeople ask a general question. It might be a good way to ask them, hey, how did you learn about us? And if they happen to say, I learned from Main Street News or whatever paper you've used, if they say, I learned from this newspaper about you, then you'll know that what you're doing is effective. And if you do this and you don't receive feedback about it, you might want to change what you're doing with your advertising and work with your representative to get it figured out so you can get the most out of your investment. And not only can you use your local newspaper as a way to gain your customer base, you can also use local radio advertising or get permission from businesses that aren't in your industry. You can get permission from them to maybe post a couple flyers or put some brochures by their facility, even if they ask you to pay a small amount for putting it there. That depends on the person you're asking, and if you can get it for free, it's great. And another effective way can be going by the houses in your subdivision or apartments, wherever you live, and put a bunch of flyers out and let people in your area know about your business or your products. And that way you can get a lot of people into it, which this method will be free because you're doing it by yourself. You don't have to rely on an advertising agency or a paper company or anything like that to create your media. You can just create it on your PC at home or work using a word processing program like we discussed earlier, and print out a couple copies, whether you have a lot of paper at home, if you have a separate printer, or if you can't afford a high quality printer, which you're going to want because you don't want stuff being sloppy for your customers, because that can turn them away, saying, oh, this business doesn't care about how their ads look. And with that being said, if you feel that your printer doesn't have sufficient ink or that you can't afford the amount of paper that you need, go to FedEx, Kinko's, or a store that offers copying services. Again, this depends on your area, the area that you live in, and whatever you choose and whatever your funds permit will work the best. So that will take care of the direct mail, so to speak. And you can even, if people don't know that you are a part of this business personally, you can even say, hey, Mrs. Smith, did you happen to check out this new advertisement that's out? Because I thought it was very interesting, and any information you can gather from the people you ask, like, oh, I'm really interested in this product, any information you can gather about what they say will help you determine whether your advertisement is effective, and if there's anything that you need to add, any additional details or anything that you feel that will help the customer to get the most out of your business and gain as much interest in it as possible. So the direct mail is highly effective. And also, another great method to direct customers to your business is to try to make an email campaign. If you happen to know a lot of emails of the people in your area, or just add as many people as you know and put at the end, we appreciate referrals, or even offer a discount for people who tell a certain amount of friends about it, or ask people who they learned it from, and you can offer discounts that way. That will be highly effective because it will give the customers the incentive to let other people know, and that will help you to get more customers. Also, now this is a bit of a difficult call because, as I've seen in the past, people who receive phone calls might not take kindly to being interrupted during their dinner time, or perhaps they're at work. So, but if you happen to maybe call it a time where maybe people aren't as busy, it will be effective. Or even leaving a message is okay, because the customer will still be able to see it, or rather hear it, when they check their mailbox. And obviously we're only talking here about residential phone numbers, because while cell phones are claimably public now, it would still possibly make a person upset that a business would, so to speak, have the gall to contact them on their cell phone when they don't know exactly how you received that number. Because if you remember, in white pages, it's easy to find a house phone, but really not a mobile phone. So generally stay away from trying to gain access to any kind of mobile phone number. And finally, a great way to remind people about your business is to attempt to make various media with your logo and contact info, and hand that out, whether it be a very large amount of pens that you'd like to hand out in the mail, or a lot of times I've seen note papers or notepads with logos on it that can be highly effective. And anything you decide what your company will permit based on cost, anything that has your name on it will help you out. And the important part here is that the customer is supposed to be able to glue the name of your business to the back of his or her mind by looking at these things, rather than creating a dull product and having them just consider it as something to write with or something to write on. Or you want it to really stick to them that you want your company to be their choice for purchasing whatever product your business may be selling in your industry. So using promotional items such as these will definitely be of assistance to your marketing department, as you won't even necessarily have to use your staff to communicate. You can just gain more business using these various items. And as far as local advertising, that's about all the time we have so far today. And this video will be on various media outlets: YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and please feel free to comment on these posts, or please email the email on your screen if you have any questions or suggestions for topics. if you have any questions about this particular episode or our Facebook ad one that's also on YouTube. And I may take some time at the beginning of each show to read the comments or questions that people write. And if you tune in, I may answer your question or comment, or if you happen to have something that you're thinking about putting out in the ad market, and just say, hey, is this method maybe going to be effective for me? I will do my best to be able to help you with that. So, again, that will do it for today. My name is Kevin Davis. I'd like to thank you for watching Kevin Talks Advertising, and please have a nice day.